Hi, welcome to the second part of my training video about the Louis Parkinson at-home training plan for bouldering strength. If you haven't watched the first part, I will link it, description and in the corner. You should definitely watch it. There are presented exercises for the warm-up and for finger strength. And in the second part, I will now continue with the arm strength exercises with core, antagonist and stretching exercises. And at the end, I will also give you my conclusion of what I think about the program in a bit more detail. Enjoy the video. So today is day 2 of the training cycle, which means arm strength day. I did all my warm-up before, no finger strength session today. And what I'm going to show you is the max weight pull-up. So there the goal is to do 3 sets of 3 pull-ups. And basically, if possible, with additional weight. But if you cannot add additional weight, it's not a problem. You can start with body weight. If you cannot do it with body weight, it's also not a big deal. Then just try to get some assistance, for instance, with a pulley system. And as mentioned before, also here, if you have reached a certain level, maybe you should not jump straight into it, but maybe gradually increase and then do the real session to prepare your body for it. And yeah, this is basically it, so let's start. One, 2, 3. So what you should take into account is you shouldn't try to cheat, so do not try to gain momentum and do some dynamic moves to do the pull-up. If you're really struggling, maybe just lower the weight or use assistance. And yeah. One remark before I forget it. The exercise is intended in such a way that the third repetition should feel quite hard, so it shouldn't be a piece of cake and that you can do 10 more pull-ups like this. So it might take a while until you figure out the proper way to attach to yourself. In my case, honestly, right now I'm going for a safer option and I think I could go a bit higher, but in the end I want to gain some further experiences first and then I can still gradually increase. So that's just as a remark. I will link some further videos when it comes to pull-up exercise, because the good thing is there's really a plentitude of variations you can do there for the training. So one will be from Lee, where he presents, like, for instance, a wide pull-up, narrow pull-up, slow, explosive. Can really recommend that one. And then also one other one from Louis Parkinson, where he, for instance, shows the V pull-up, also the typewriter, and also some other variations. So if you're interested, definitely worth checking out once again. And maybe I can try the V pull-up just for demonstration purposes. Now without weight attached. If I'm not mistaken, it looks like this, but you should check out Louis Parkinson video, so that you go up first to one side, go down, and then go to the other side. Then you have such a V shape. Okay, so next I will continue with core exercises. These are important to be able to keep the body tension while you're bouldering or climbing, and that's particularly useful when you're climbing in the overhang, but not only there. So, as usual, I will first show you 2 exercises which I mentioned in the plan, and then I will also find out some alternatives. Let's go for it. The first one is called windshield wiper, and you will see pretty quickly why it's called like that. So you lie like this on the floor, you can use the arms like this, and more or less straight legs. And then you go to the side, and this 3 sets of 10 repetitions. You should try to do this slowly and in a controlled way, and not like bump on the floor, but really slowly and controlled. And in this way it's harder. Really try to engage your core. So do not rush through this, but really try to do it in a controlled way. And I don't know why exactly, but here usually to me that I'm moving forward while I'm doing the exercise. Okay, so 2 further sets of this. And yeah, the next exercise I'm going to show you is using the hangboard. And after this we come back here. Alright. Okay, so next exercise, hanging leg raises. So you need a pull-up bar or hangboard like this. Then you just hang like this, and then move the arms up, the legs up. And there's like 3 sets. 10 times. 3, 4, 5. And try not to use momentum like this, but I'll just go like this. Really try to slowly and in a controlled way. So something like this, for instance. Of course you can also make it a bit easier by just putting the knees up, for instance. And of course you can also combine the first exercise I've shown, the windshield wipers, with this one. I will put a link into the description. There you can see it, it's a video from Eric Hurst. One variation of this, it's not mentioned in the program here. You can also just hold this, this leg raise position. So for instance, let you go up, and then this is an isometric hold, and you can hold it, for instance, for, I don't know, 5-10 seconds or something like this, and then you just hold it. Or there's also variation where you could combine it with a pull-up. Let's see whether I can now do it. I think I did like just once or so before. So this is then an L-sit pull-up, which combines the pull-up with the core exercise. Yeah. So after this I will show you some further core exercise on the floor. Yeah, but these ones are fun and not easy. Okay, as mentioned before, I also wanted to show you some additional exercises. And the first one here is the Superman. I will link the video from Lattice where I've seen this one, and also from Tom Merrick. And here, so you're on the floor. I'm not sure what you can see it on the camera. Then you can either do it like this with arms in front, or you can also put it to the side. And then you go up like this and hold it on top like here. Just right now we just do 5 for demonstration purposes. And this targets the lower back here, because in the end what we shall not forget is core is more than just abs. And yeah. The next one after this, I really like this one, it's hollow hold. And here you can have different variations. I mean, if you hold it like this, it's a bit easier. If you hold it like this, it's a bit more challenging. And for instance, you can just do it and just hold this position for some time. You just try to keep the contact with your lower back and not to get in this position. So you can do it as a kind of static hold. Or also variation, you can for instance of course hold it here and play around with the angle. Or do it in a kind of, combine it with flutter kicks or with scissors here. Something like this. So there are really a lot of videos out there. I will link some when it comes to core exercise. And if you're interested in core, I plan to do a core workout video soon. So stay tuned and subscribe if you don't want to miss it. And yeah. So next I will continue with the antagonist training in bouldering, but of course also in the climbing we're facing a lot of pulling moves and not really a lot of pushing moves. And this can then eventually lead to imbalances in the body, which can then at some point, at least in the long term, maybe lead to some injuries. As we don't want that, let's train the antagonists. Honestly, something I neglected for a long time, not because I thought, oh, it's stupid, it's useless, but simply because I enjoy bouldering that much. But now that we have time, let's train the antagonists. The first exercise I'll try to show you are the Sphinx push-ups. And as I'm not very experienced, maybe my form might not be the right one. So I think we are more or less in the regular push-up position with the fingers below the shoulders, close to the chest. And then go down. 1, 2, 3. So here the goal is to do 3 sets with, yeah, let's say between 10 and 15 repetitions. And in between you rest for 2 minutes. So this was my first set. I will now continue with 2 further sets. And then I will show you another exercise. So the next exercise I'm going to show you are the Spider-Man push-ups, I think it's the name. Once again, 3 sets, 10 repetitions and something like this. So here you go, try to go as wide as possible, so that you can still push yourself up. 1, 2, 3, 4. What's really neat, you need this exercise when you're expected to rest, but the next one is not, so we'll just split the rest out, keep it a bit shorter, then doing the T. So here you're going into the T position, and then each time you're up, hold it for like 3 seconds, and then repeat this for like 10 times or so. So these don't feel that hot, but I think it's also a nice training, because I think this movement is not very common in climbing or bouldering. Yeah, so this is it for the exercise I wanted to show you for the antagonist. As usual, as also for the other parts, I will try to put some additional links into the description, because in the end, of course, there's really a big variety of push-up variants. Of course, you could also maybe do some kind of plank variations or stuff like this. So then the next and last part is then the stretching exercises. So finally, I'm showing you 2 stretching exercises for the forearms. Here, try really to relax into it. Don't force anything, and relax and calm down, and yeah, take your time. So you can go down, get up like this, arms like this, and then if you want, but slowly and carefully, don't force anything, and just do it the way what feels right for you. And then go back and take your time. So for at least 30 seconds, if you want to do longer, do it for longer. And yeah, I really like this exercise. And as I said before, take your time, don't force anything. So if you cannot do it like this, then maybe just do it like this, or do it like this. No pressure at all. And try to really pay attention to your breath and breathe consciously. And basically you can now also do the same exercise like this. Here, if you've never done it, just be a bit careful, because I remember the first time I've done it like several months ago, it felt a bit weird. So don't push too much, play around with it and be a bit careful, but it's basically the same stretch. I mean, it's the same movement, and then sit back and breathe. So now I forgot to set a timer, but do just, and these are a bit, feel a bit weird, but I really like it. So maybe after this you need to shake off your hands a bit, and as I said, just be a bit careful when you do this movement, especially when you're not used to it. So no quick movements, and don't jump into this exercise. And yeah, and then I'm also going to show you one further exercise, which I saw in a recent video from Tom Merrick. It's not part of the program. I will link it as usual. So you can sit down like this. And the way Tom explains it is, you don't just sit there unconsciously, but really try to subconsciously press the palms into the bottom, and then also lift your chest and then breathe. So it's a kind of active movement, or it's a kind of active hold, and not just sit there and do nothing, but do it actively and consciously. I think this one is called bicep stretch. Yeah. And then another one also from Turmeric, I will link that video too. It's thread the needle. So if I'm not mistaken, doing it like this, that you get on your shoulder, and then you can basically do it like this. There's also a variation of a core exercise using this one. I might soon do a video about it. And accordingly you can do it for the other side. So this was it with the stretching exercises. Basically that's also everything I wanted to show you from the program. As mentioned at the beginning, if you haven't already checked it out, there's a part 1 of this training plan where I'm showing you some more dynamic stretching exercises and also a warm-up for the fingerboard and the finger strength exercises. So if you haven't already seen it, check it out if you're interested. And yeah, I didn't only want to show you the exercise and then that's it. But of course I also want to share with you my opinion and my experiences again so far with the Louis Parkinson training plan. So this is what I'm going to do next. So if you would ask me, would you buy the plan again? I would say definitely yes. Because the price is really more than reasonable for what you get. So go ahead, try it out, I can definitely recommend it. However, of course, I think there are some people who would benefit more from it than others. And I think this is especially helpful for people who haven't followed a structured training plan before. So this was the case for me. I mean, I love bouldering a lot, and of course I did a lot of research about hangboard protocol and different exercises like Antagonist, core, etc. etc. But honestly, I felt a bit kind of overwhelmed by all this information and all the videos out there. And now it's one video more, and I didn't really know where to start. It was like, this protocol says hang like this and then restful like this, and then the other video said something completely different, and I really felt like a bit overwhelmed, like, oh, what should I do? So basically I just went bouldering and I never really started with a structured training plan. And I'm happy that I did so now. And I think in such a situation the training plan is really helpful because you get like the first good starting point for setting up your training. And then I think after this you can easily adjust it to your own wishes and to your own setting. But you have a good starting point to have a first structured training plan. I think this is really helpful. As I also said in the first video, there's also a Titan plan, which is a bit more challenging, or not just a bit, which is more challenging and certainly targets more advanced and experienced climbers or boulderers. As I'm not strong or experienced, I don't know how good this Titan plan is. I can imagine that if you're already, let's say, an experienced or advanced boulderer, then maybe you don't benefit from the plan that much because most likely you already gained some experiences with scheduling your training, setting up a training plan. But of course also there the price is really small, so maybe it's just worth it also for these people to invest and challenge themselves and challenge their training plan, and maybe they can gain something out of it. However, I cannot say how useful it is for an experienced or strong boulderer, but yeah. If you are one of these and you have followed the plan, please let me know. I would be interested to hear from you how you like the Titan plan or the Hero plan, so let me know. One thing I wanted to mention is, I decided for myself that I will reduce the number of Antagonist training exercises a bit, not because I think it's useless, it doesn't make sense, they're stupid, they're not fun or whatever, but I think it's in the end it's quite a lot of Antagonist exercises you're doing, and it takes quite some time to do these. So at least once I'm back in the more or less regular schedule, I guess I won't follow these exercises and do all these exercises because, as I said, it takes quite some time. And I think you can still, if you focus on some of these exercises, my opinion is that you can still gain some benefits from it. Yeah, so for me, the amount of Antagonist training is a bit too much, or let's say at least with the push-up exercises. But yeah, I think that's something you can decide for yourself, whether you agree or whether you think, no, actually I want to do more. That's just something I wanted to mention. So thanks for watching, and have fun with the training, even though I hope that rather sooner than later we can do some proper bouldering again, as I said.